NBA stars are highlight machines. Night after night, they put on stunning displays of athleticism, determination, and skill. But nobody's perfect, and every once in a while, these typically amazing athletes slip up. And unfortunately for the dedicated elite superstars, the more impressive the player, the more hilarious the mistakes. So let's take a look at some of the most embarrassing plays by the NBA's top players. But first, if you love all the high-flying basketball action on Hoop Hustlers, make sure and leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Alright, here we go. Airballs are awfully embarrassing and pretty funny, so let's begin there. Lebron. Warm-up time is only about the players. This is before all the media hype has begun and all the fans haven't even arrived yet. So there's no pressure, just time to get loosened up and ready to play. But unfortunately for high-profile players like LeBron James, the cameras are always rolling, even when you airball during warm-ups. Kobe Bryant is stunning in almost every clip you see of him, and with good reason. Most of the time he spent on the hardwood, he was absolutely dazzling. But early on in his career during the 1997 playoffs, Kobe put on a cringeworthy series of embarrassing jump shots. First off, he airballs what would have been the game winner. This sends Game 5 to overtime. Then he hits nothing but air, not one, not two, not even three, four. 4 times he airballs during the overtime period as the Jazz take the series and send the Lakers packing 4-1. James Harden. A common show of frustration amongst ballers is to bounce the ball particularly hard on the court. It's a nice way to be violent without really doing anything malicious or being called for a technical. But this whole plan backfired on James Harden when instead of catching the freshly spiked ball with his hands, he caught it with his face. Ouch! Showboating is good, clean fun. It's great to see players having a good time and the fans love it. But do it too soon and you can quickly become a laughing stock like Kemba and Reggie are about to show us. Kemba Walker knows this three-pointer is going in. So he turns around, hits us with a little shimmy, and the ball rattles in and out of the rim. Yep, that's embarrassing. Reggie Miller nails an impressive three-pointer to take the lead just before the buzzer sounds in this 1994 contest between the Chicago Bulls and the Indiana Pacers. Reggie has developed a love-hate relationship with Bulls fans. Actually, nah, just hate. So after putting his team ahead, he jogged to center court and bowed to the Chicago spectators. Unfortunately for Reggie, Tony Kukoc banked in a buzzer beater in the final 0.8 seconds, leaving Reggie high and dry. What's worse for the Pacers legend, soon after this game the Bulls pulled out another victory over the Pacers, this time in Indianapolis. So after the final buzzer, Scottie Pippen returned the favor and bowed to the Indy fans before heading to the locker room. Russell Westbrook. In perhaps the most epic turnover of all time, Russell Westbrook receives an inbounds pass and takes a hike. A very long hike before deciding he should maybe dribble or something. Paul George. If you cough up the cash for seats directly under the basket, you expect a show. What you don't necessarily expect is for Paul George to kick a ball directly at your face. Whoops! Paul immediately apologizes and hugs the fan. She goes home with a basketball imprinted face and one heck of a story to tell her friends. And George is headed home a little early because he's been tossed. Donovan Mitchell. If you're going to throw an oop to yourself off the backboard, you better not miss. That would be terribly embarrassing, but there are worse things than missing a self-alley-oop. Like when Donovan Mitchell tosses the oop intended for himself directly over the backboard. Nikola Jokic. Things they don't teach NBA players in college. How to handle a microphone. Nikola Jokic has proven himself a solid player on the court, but when it comes to microphones, this dude is sorely lacking. For whatever reason, some of the best and most dominant players on the court are the absolute worst from the free throw line. So we're going to wrap up this list with some truly disgusting foul shots. But first, we have one honorable mention. This is admittedly not a moment directly from the NBA, but it is a former NBA player embarrassing himself in another type of competition. See where I'm going with this? If you were thinking Charles Barkley's horrendous golf swing, you'd be correct. I mean, look at that. What is he doing? All right. Let's just get on the free throws. I think I'm gonna throw up. Joakim Noah tosses up a nothing burger from the line. As soon as he lets go, you can see it in his face. He knows this is going to be embarrassing, but it's not even close. Not even a little bit. Shaquille O'Neal is a notoriously bad free throw shooter. So bad that many teams began fouling him on purpose because they knew he couldn't score from the free throw line, and they always knew they couldn't stop him from scoring in the post. The NBA even instituted a new rule to prevent teams from using this strategy. See our video, 12 Players Who Forced Rule Changes in the NBA, for more on the Hack-a-Shaq rule. Now we've seen Shaq both tear down opponents and literally tear down backboards. Any follower of this channel is no stranger to that. But here Shaq bricks a free throw so hard that the goal audibly groans from the abuse. Andre Drummond double airball. Andre Drummond of the Detroit Pistons takes to the line in Chicago with an opportunity to put his team on top in the final period of play. But instead he airballs his first attempt. A teammate whispers some advice, maybe he's asking him not to do that again. If so, Drummond does not heed the advice and promptly whiffs on his second attempt as well. Goodness sakes, is he even trying? Blake Griffin. And here we have Blake Griffin doing the exact same thing as Andre. Way short. 2 times in a row. Come on, Blake. What is that? With all due respect to the fine players whom we've highlighted in their worst moments today, that was hilarious. A good reminder that nobody's perfect. Even the most impressive stars slip up now and then, and sometimes they slip up big time. We all have a good laugh and know that our favorite players will be on the highlight reel again before we know it. Well, that's all for today, but if you liked what you saw today, go ahead and hit subscribe, and we'll be back real soon. Until next time, keep hustling.